Welcome to Okaloosa Today, local news and information. Connecting the communities of Fulton Beach, Destin, and Okaloosa County.
Welcome to Okaloosa Today on Cox. This is your monthly look at the city of Destin, Fort Walton Beach, and Okaloosa County. This is a special episode of Okaloosa Today. It's the Christmas episode. Holiday edition will run through December and January. The Destin segment for this episode is special because we're going to talk to our recreation department staff and talk about a lot of the good programs and things that go on in Destin over the holiday period and in the winter months when people think that we might not have a lot going on. It actually isn't as quiet as you might think. And joining me is Nick Coleman, you're the recreation supervisor. Pat Markey, you're the senior programs coordinator. Guys, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
This is a lot of fun. Pat, your job is not just the senior programs coordinator. You actually have some things outside of that, but an exciting time. We just finished up the tree lighting, Christmas parade on December the 12th. We have a holiday decorating contest. Nick, I think you're going to tell us a little bit about, but let's kind of give a snapshot of our Christmas time and some of our programs. And Nick, I'll just let you kind of go from there.
Well, the best thing about this is we really don't have a downtime. If we're not having running programs, we're setting up, getting prepped up for our next upcoming programs. To start off with the holiday decorating, it's running through December 15th. We have many categories: best home, best business, best organization, best on the harbor, best condominium, and my favorite is the best overall holiday, which, if you've seen Christmas Vacation, is the Griswold house,
right,
if you would. And basically what we'll do is whoever wins will be placed in the Destin log, will receive an award at the first chamber meeting in January.
Council meeting.
Council meeting, yeah. I'm sorry, council meeting in January. And plus they'll have a nice little sign to go out there in their yard.
Cool.
For a few weeks. So.
That's nice. And we have a lot of Griswold houses in Destin, which is really nice. Everybody participates. It's a lot of fun to see that.
Yes. Yeah. Every year we have a different winner. Someone tries to top somebody else. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. And as far as our programs running, right now we just finished up soccer. We're getting ready to prepare for soccer. Coming up, we'll do sign-ups in January. And January, February we'll sign-ups, and then March we'll start soccer. Right now our biggest youth program is basketball, running at our community center, and Pat oversees that. If Pat, you want to? Yeah,
youth basketball, right? So you see the two extremes. You have the seniors and you have the youth, right?
Yeah, I like to get them at both ends, I guess, of the spectrum. But this year we're running the basketball, and we had the best turnout we've ever had. We have right now 324 and counting. We get calls all the time, and if we can squeeze a kid in, we will, as long as they don't exceed the 10 on each roster.
Okay.
But we also have 36 teams total and 36 wonderful sponsors, because we can't do this. We can't get those T-shirts out there and everything without it. So you'll see the various T-shirts all summer long with the names of the sponsors on the back all over Destin.
Good. That's good to mention too. If anybody is actually looking to be involved in the city, you can always sponsor a program. I know Nick has soccer and other programs that take sponsorships. Pat just mentioned the basketball program sponsorships. Please give us a call. And you said the basketball program has started, but you would take someone if they're interested, and also just be aware that registration for next year, and let's kind of be watching for this.
Yeah, and Nick does a great job getting the word out. He blasts it on the emails from former players, and if you play a sport, any sport in Destin, Nick can get you the information. It doesn't matter if you do basketball; he'll let you know about soccer coming up. And it's just a good way to do it. Also, the schools cooperate, where as long as we go get permission, we get the flyers and the backpacks. Right. And one of the other things I wanted to mention was this year we've decided to do at least 2 to 3 clinics a year. Bob Sherwood is a former Division I star out of William and Mary. He is our co-director for the camps. We have many Division I former players and some coaches with 30, 40 years experience. So I'd like to think that we gave maybe the best clinics that we've ever put on in the city this past year, and hopefully it's going to show up not only in our league this year, but as the kids get into middle school and try out for the teams, and even into the high schools and try out for the teams. So we're making a concerted effort to increase the level of play in this area.
Well, that's great, and I should also mention that we have great facilities. The community center gym is excellent. I think you guys can have several games going at once, or just one big game. It just very nicely done. Staff always does a good job of putting that on. Your programs are great, and it's good to hear that you have a good participation this year.
Well, if you come in on a Monday through Thursday night, you'll see at any given time 60 people in the gym working. We have so many kids that we put one team at one basket, another basket, so we have 4 baskets going at any given time, and usually there's 1 or 2 parents for each kid there also.
Great.
So it's a busy building.
You're good. Well, Pat, we're going to come back to you with the seniors in a few minutes, but Nick, let's talk a little bit more about some of your programs. I know you mentioned some registrations that will be coming up in January, and this show will be running in January. So what do people need to be on the lookout for?
Well, of course, our youth soccer, sign-ups for the youth, and then we also have adult flag football played on Wednesday nights. We have adult softball that's played Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have a mix of adult softball. We have Tuesday night rec and competitive. We got Wednesday night co-ed. And then we have Thursday night, what we just started was a wood bat league. It picked off. We have 5 teams in it right now, but we could see that growing down the road. I never thought about it, but adult softball wood bat league, we got that going on. And then this summer we'll have, this is down the road, our adult kickball league on Wednesday nights. One thing I do want to say about our youth leagues, like Pat touched on with basketball, is that our youth leagues are kind of molded to our age group. I myself am coaching a 4U team, and which is 3s and 4s who would think they could play basketball, but we're dropping the goal down to 5 feet, and they're playing with the mini ball. Oh, good. Which in soccer they're playing smaller goals and smaller balls. So don't think that like if you have a kid that you want to come out and play and have playing sports and they're too young or too old or never played before, bring them on out. That's why we have these camps that Pat runs for basketball. That's why we run them for soccer. Stay up, follow us on Facebook, and see what we have going on.
That's a good point. Pat mentioned this too about you getting the word out. Facebook, newsletter blast, the e-newsletter is a good way to do it. If you signed up through RecTrack, you actually get information from the city. That's a really good way to do it, and you guys do a really good job of pushing that. So these programs you mentioned are probably more of a springtime program, is that right? Or do they start in the winter, or when do they start?
Well, in January we'll start registration, go January, February for registration, and then we'll have a camp in late February. We'll split the teams and start up in March. Okay. Practices will run through March with the games on Friday nights. That's one thing about our league for soccer is we play the games on Friday nights for all age groups, which frees up your weekends.
I know a lot of parents appreciate that.
Oh, yes.
That's a really good thing. And like you said, also you have things for everybody. The little kids and they can. There's just a program or an event that they can get involved in. Let's talk about your big event that's in January or March. I'm sorry, it's in March. Yeah. Run with the Dogs, and that's a big city event, but it's something that you really manage and have for quite a while.
Yes, the Run with the Dogs, we're going on our 16th annual one, which is crazy to think about that, but it's grown into a large area event that I mean, we have our dog park, which brings that to life that day. We have about 300 participants. We're ranging over about 150 of those bringing out their dogs. And this is one of the largest dog runs in the area. Do you have to have a dog to run in it? No, you could be a walker, runner. You could bring out your child. We have a stroller division too. The event is actually Saturday, March 19th. You could sign up on runsignup.com. You can actually pull an application off at the City of Destin website at cityofdestin.com. Fill it out, turn it in. $20 to sign up right now. You get a T-shirt. $25 between March 4th and the 18th, and day of the race, the 19th, it's $30.
So registrations for the March Run with the Dogs is actually open. So if you want to get a good discount, you can register for that now.
Yep, you can register now.
Okay, very good, very good. That's a big event, and like you said, it highlights our dog park and gives us an opportunity to show that off, and that's really important. We appreciate what you do. And like 16 years, you were what, in junior high when that got started, weren't you?
I think, yeah, just about.
Just about, yes, that's good. Don't let the mustache and the hat fool you. And speaking of mustaches, Pat, you got a good looking one. I guess this is a good segue to the senior programs that you run, and you know Nick wants to be a senior, I guess. But anyway, we are going into the senior games, and this is the second time we've had this here. Is that right?
Right. They've always been in Pensacola and Tallahassee, but there's really been nothing in between on the Panhandle. So the state contacted me and said, would you do something in between? You know, what Destin doing? So we did it last year, and we had 235 participants. We're going to try to hit 500 this year, and I feel we're going to get it done. It is the Destin Senior Games, and it's a qualifier for the state games down in Clearwater. It takes place the week of the month of February. So in January, the signups will start coming online and everything. You'll be able to see them. And just to give you an idea, they're Olympic-style games. And to give you an idea, we have basketball shooting contests. We have bowling, excuse me, croquet, darts, horseshoes, shuffleboard, pool or billiards, according to what you want to call it. Pickleball is one of our big activities, as is table tennis and tennis. Track and field, we play at the middle school, and usually the middle school track team helps us with run the event. And we're teaming up with the chamber on a road race, and we may even do line dancing as a demonstration sport this year. Okay.
And those all qualify for the Florida Senior Olympics, is that
Florida
right?
Senior Olympics,
Okay.
Senior Games.
Senior Games.
But they are Olympic-style games.
Okay. And, so when registrations are starting up. I mean, what's our time frame?
We're still working on some venues, so we'll have it in January. Mm-hmm. So you'll have a whole month to sign up.
Okay.
And it'll be on our webpage, and we're working together with some sponsors to get it out in the local newspapers also. Right. And we're going to blast the newspapers and get the word out. Plus, I had a promise from everybody who participated last year to bring one friend.
Oh, good.
So it should be easy to get to 500 now.
Yeah, that's good. And that's a good time. Do our snowbirds qualify if they don't live in Florida? How does that work?
A majority of our people will be snowbirds or people traveling in from Panama City, in the various counties around the area.
Okay.
So we do. It's a good blend of locals and that, and it just helps our games for the locals to have more competition.
Right.
And you don't have to be from the state. I mean, you don't have to be from the country.
Okay.
You know, you can just if you come down from Canada, you can enter it too.
What's the age requirement?
50 years old.
50.
And it's 50 by the end of next year. So you can basically we had only one 49-year-old last year, and he got beat. So,
oh, wow.
In tennis. So,
okay. Good. And so the games start in February, is that correct?
Yeah, first weekend in February is usually our first one, and then we go almost to the very last weekend in February. We had to space them out just because I can't be at all the events at the same time, so we...
Right, yeah, it runs about a month. It's in different locations. Again, information's will be on our city website. I know you said you're going to blast that out. We are working with the Destin Log and some other news opportunities, so that will be really good. Anything else you might want to add about that?
Well, just that we do have some major sponsors, and they'll be... I don't know if I'm allowed to mention them or not. But
if you're comfortable, you can certainly do it.
Gentiva and Humana are going to be our major sponsors. And
good.
Then, I can't think of some of the other, but the two major ones will be them, and then we'll cut down to smaller ones. And that just helps us because it's not a money-making event. It's $10 to enter.
Wow.
You know, if you enter a pickleball tournament or a tennis tournament, you're going to be paying $35. $10 to enter, and then $5 for each additional sport. So we had a guy who entered like 7 different events last year. He just would run from one to the other. And
it's still relatively inexpensive, though. That's a really nice program to put together. That's very good. So senior games going on in February, registration in January. You also run the Destin Seniors, or Seniors of Destin group. Tell us a little bit about that program.
That's what keeps me busy year-round.
Right.
I mean, my main job is making sure we take care of the seniors. We do a monthly calendar that goes out. I was just typing it up this morning, a day late, sorry. But we do roughly 23 to 28 activities a month, and they vary from, we have a drop-in on tennis. We go golfing at least 3 times a month. We take trips to Biloxi. We're actually 48 of us are going to Cancun in January.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
A lot of
staff want a job.
A lot of us are envious of that job you have there.
Someone has to do it.
That's
so
right.
I'm volunteering. We play bingo once a month. We have art lessons. And we have wonderful artists that donate their time. So again, it could be at a minimum just for the materials. Pickleball, we helped our gymnasium introduce pickleball to the area.
You did. I remember that.
So we're the
it was
grandfather.
Recent too.
Yeah, just 5 years ago. Two gentlemen from Canada came down and said, this is the rage. And we have sometimes 74 people in the gym waiting to get on the courts. So
wow.
It's a really good thing. We have a potluck birthday party once a month, and I make arrangements with all the local restaurants. I talk to them. We come up with a flat fee for a dinner, but served at 11:30 in the morning. We're going to Ruth's Chris this next Friday, a week from Friday. So that's one of our
go, Nick?
Yeah.
It is a rough job, but
yeah.
Again,
that sounds good. Well, you put together a really active organization for our seniors, and that's the right word, I think, is they're an active group, and that's really important. What does it cost anything to be other than maybe the meals and going out? Does it cost anything to be involved in the group?
No, we the city of Destin, your tax-paying money, produces it for us, but mainly it's if I have a thing like a trip to Biloxi, they just pay the bus driver. We don't collect the money. We have them at the restaurants. They pay them.
Okay.
So just the sheer numbers allow me to work a deal with the golf course or work a deal with the restaurant.
Right.
And my pitch to them is, hey, take care of my seniors, and when their kids come into town with their families, they'll come and use your golf course.
That's exactly right.
Use your restaurant.
Very good. And you guys are housed over at Buck Destin Park on Legion Drive?
My office is over there. We have many of our activities over there, but some of them are too large, so we have to go back to the community center and do some of our activities.
Well, that's good to know that you're growing and you're getting bigger and bigger and having to move around. That's really a good thing. Like we started the show, there's a lot of stuff going on in the wintertime. December, January is not quiet around here. A lot of Christmas, a lot of holiday stuff, a lot of programs getting started, registrations. And guys, just thank you so much for being here today and talking about it. It's exciting to know that we have an active group of staff and a really active senior group, really active youth, and this is a lot of fun. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
Well, the main thing is stay up with programs we have. Facebook, email us if you want to get on the email list. Let us know. Just give us a phone call. Call us up. Say, hey, how do I get on your email list? Or where's that Facebook link you talked about? And you follow us.
Yeah.
And keep up to date with everything we got going on.
Good.
And we do have an energetic young staff, and they do a great job. We have an after-school program that is always filled to the brim with waiting lists. And the staff that's over there now, they're always looking up new things to do, and I think it's just an exciting time for the entire recreation department.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks again. You do a great job. The city's proud. We're all proud of it, and we want to thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Nice hat.
Yeah, thanks. Nice hat. Thanks for watching our Destin segment today. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Stay tuned for Joe Soria and the City of Fort Walton Beach next.